Information. It's the force that can add new dimensions of quality and value to our products and services. It can bring together diverse business processes and functions into more flexible and competitive organizations to address specific business issues, or take advantage of emerging opportunities and recombine them as required to create new, more efficient, more profitable ways of doing business.
Total quality organizations in Westinghouse will increasingly rely on information excellence to bring down the walls between internal functions, and also between Westinghouse and our customers, distributors, and suppliers. That's how we'll add more value and differentiate ourselves, how we'll grow. Over the years, I've seen what information technologies can do when used properly. If we want to use information systems to build value for Westinghouse, and believe me, we do, then we have to make information available to all who need it. We must put the right information in the right hands at the right time. The benefits will go directly to the bottom line.
The Information Systems Advisory Council met last November. At the meeting, the Council recognized individuals and groups that have applied information excellence in ways that have resulted in outstanding benefits for their business units and for Westinghouse.
I think information technology probably, in my mind, holds as much a key to quality performance by this corporation as anything I can think of.
And the benefits will go directly to the bottom line.
And I think that will make a significant contribution to cost reductions, improved customer service, and quite honestly, I was glad to see the suppliers involved, because obviously that's a key ingredient of any kind of a process.
The mission of the Information Systems Advisory Council is to encourage employees involved with information technology to contribute directly to the management of change within Westinghouse. The goals of the Council are to achieve total quality in the management of information and information technology, develop an understanding of the impact of Westinghouse business goals on the management of information and technology, and create a culture in which information management and technology impact strategically on how Westinghouse meets its business goals.
This process we're going through on the award end of things is one that can help all of us make information technology a more effectively used product in the corporation. I'm really proud of the increase that we've had this year over last year in terms of the number of applications that were filed.
There were 52 nominations involving 168 people for the first award. The numbers jumped to 88 nominations involving 427 people for the Fall '89 ceremony. Criteria for selecting winners included clear demonstrations that information excellence, having the right information available at the right time and place, contributed to business success, and that one or more of the key concepts for information excellence was demonstrated. One of the two winners was Furniture Systems for their QuotePad and OrderPad systems. QuotePad software walks the customer through the furniture configuration, asking for styles, sizes, quantities, and other variables for each component. With roughly 12,000 catalog line items, many with 6 price levels, 18 color positions, and some 500 specific colors, there are literally hundreds of thousands of options from which the customer can select. Once these options have been chosen, QuotePad produces and prices a complete bill of material. OrderPad converts the accepted selections into the proper format for the Westinghouse order entry system.
In the process, the intelligent thing you have to do is take this design and put a quote system in the middle of it, then make it an electronic order. A dealer likewise can take it, price it, vary the quotation, then ultimately make it an order.
It does run on any IBM compatible with the hard drive. We wanted to keep it real simple hardware-wise, very basic machine. In the actual sales cycle, we identified the fact that there's usually a very long extended design time or cycle that occurs in systems furniture. The revision process was cumbersome in the past, and when we viewed it, a lot of times we'd find that a customer might add a headcount to their organization, and they'd have to switch around the design a little bit, and that would make a revision to the whole plan. And we almost had to start over from ground zero and redo the whole quote, look it all up again from a paper catalog, and retype it, resubmit it, and that could tend to be a fairly difficult process.
In the past, you'd have to take that requirement that the customer might have and do a manual takeoff of a drawing, look up all the prices from the catalog, and then give it to someone else to type, and there's lots of room for error in that.
So we put together the team, as Joe had indicated. We brought together, in this case, you can almost put a circle around the customer dealer. In our involvement, that was one entity, the end user being represented by our dealer. The consultant, which was our vendor, MIS department, sales, both from sales management and a salesperson. We brought customer service and order entry together, and that was the team.
With QPAD, you can go directly to the catalog database, put in the catalog number, it gives you the pricing. You can set different price levels for different customers and different discounts. One of the big things also is that after we submit a quotation, almost every time, the customer will come back with some kind of a change. They want to lower the amount of money that they're spending, or they have more money they want to spend. They want to add fabric fronts to the flippers. And in the past, that really would take a lot of time to alter the quotation. It was almost like starting over. But with QPAD, with it already on a database with the computer, to make a few changes, a few keystrokes, and then a few more keystrokes, and you end up with a presentation copy again.
Overall, you're going from 67 days on the old approach to 39 days on the new approach. Quite a compression of time, and we think dealership management is quite happy with that, helping their resources, and certainly we're tickled with it too. That makes a 42% reduction in actual day count and a 46% reduction in man-hour count. So we think we've justified the process here.
I would anticipate about a 5% productivity gain within our sales force. In our order entry, customer service, we've seen about a 20% production gain in that area, and basically what that means is we can do double the business with the same number of people. And we guesstimate another 5% reduction in some of those errors that could be reduced. So that's a total savings about $362,000 a year that we would see that this is a benefit to Westinghouse. Not to mention some of the unquantified savings is the fact that we did leapfrog our competitors. This is preemptive technology.
In the past, looking things up manually, preparing a rough copy, waiting for it to be typed, we'd get backlogged and we'd lose some business, I'm sure. Now with QPAD, you can produce something quickly and accurately and get it in the hands of the customer fast. I think out of all the technological support that we have in the office with the fax machines and all of that, QPAD probably has had the greatest impact in increasing our productivity in our office.
It's greatly improved our speed of delivery of the product and the accuracy of our orders, and I think it's really enhanced our image with the customer as a very professional dealership representing the Westinghouse product line.
Obviously, where we're driving this at is to, while we're making people more productive, we want them out there selling. So where it's going is we're looking for incremental volume in sales, and the trust and the loyalty that we're getting with our dealers and our customers. This technology is being used to make us the preferred vendor for their furniture.
The Furniture Systems Award is an excellent example of partnering with customers and others to reduce cycle time and raise the accuracy of quotations and manufacturing orders. Customers can now do business with Westinghouse much easier than before, and QuotePad and OrderPad have helped position Westinghouse as the preferred supplier. The Nuclear and Advanced Technology Division was recognized by ISAC for its development of a unique computer simulator. The simulator thoroughly tests the modern digital system that replaces an obsolete analog system that controls the environment in steam generators.
Even though many of these plants have recently gone into operation, the equipment that they're using is already becoming vintage equipment. It's electrical analog equipment that in some cases is now obsolete, no longer supported by the original manufacturers, and is beginning to generate some problems in terms of reliability, availability, and operating. And in some instances, we're finding that these control systems really don't provide the kind of capabilities that nuclear power plants would like to have. In spite of the limitations of the existing control system hardware, nuclear utilities tend to be strongly resistant to implementing changes in their hardware. This makes it extremely important that there be no risk associated with implementing the upgrade. The new system should give them at least as good a capability as they have with the old system and should introduce no new operating problems. In order to provide this, they expect that the product must be thoroughly proven and tested prior to acceptance.
NATD developed a simulator that is virtually identical to the control environment in the actual plant. Using it, a new control system is tested so thoroughly that it can be installed without a hitch and without costly extended downtime.
What we've done with the hardware and loop test facility is to introduce a step early in the design process in which the system can actually be checked out in an environment that very closely simulates what would happen in the real plant. We use the data acquisition system referred to as WestTrack as an integral part of our factory acceptance testing and startup testing. We wanted to utilize commercially available Westinghouse distributed processing family WDPF hardware.
Two of the key features we wanted to implement in this system were the ability to review and analyze data while still continuing to get the data from the field. To do this, we used a memory disk. It gave us a fast access time, and the second key feature of our system implementation was the enhanced output display and data manipulation capabilities.
The key feature of this design, once again, is the use of the analog to digital link between the two systems. Using this link enabled us to fully test the control system algorithms on the Westinghouse DPF, download these control system algorithms to a floppy disk, take his floppy disk to the field where they have a similar type system, and enter that floppy disk and the control systems into the system at the actual plant. In order for this model to run in real time, simulation time and real time have to be equal at this point in time. So the only option we really had was to somehow slow down the processing time that the computer had. In other words, increase the amount of time it took the processor to calculate 1 second worth of simulation data. This was done by inserting a time delay immediately after the perform plant model calculation step. What this time delay did was force the processor to wait for a pulse from a real-time clock, in this case being 1 second, before it can continue on with the other processing action that it had to perform, which meant that once it received this time increment of 1 second, both real-time and simulation time would be at the 1 second mark. At this point, as you can see, real-time and simulation time would always be in sync, and therefore the model was forced to run in real time.
In a large part because of the experience that we gained, the feedback that we had with the hardware and loop test facility, this project has been very successful. The unit was installed on time at Northern States Power Company. The control system performed essentially as we had intended. There were no unexpected operating conditions in terms of the overall control system performance.
Based largely on the strength of the simulator to successfully test and install a new system within normal outage times, Westinghouse has become the dominant supplier for advanced digital feedwater control systems, with 4 wins out of the last 4 bidding opportunities. It's another example of how information excellence has locked in a competitive edge for Westinghouse and established Westinghouse firmly as the leading supplier in this important market. Furniture Systems and NATD have demonstrated that information excellence can bring diverse operations and groups together to improve the quality of products and services, shorten cycle times, solve problems, and create competitive advantage, all to create the added value needed to significantly differentiate Westinghouse above its competitors and to make Westinghouse the flexible organization of the future today. Information excellence. It's today's route to accelerated growth and improved profitability.